So tonight we're talking about building better business habits. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Lindsay Hanratty. I am a business coach for female entrepreneurs who struggle to gain clarity on their mission, their message, and their mindset in business. And when they work with me, they get clear on the perfect money making and profit plans for their businesses to make more money, attract more clients, and have the business and the lifestyle that they want. And a problem that I see a lot with people who are with female entrepreneurs in particular, because it's mostly female entrepreneurs I speak to, is this, rabbit in the headlights and analysis paralysis syndrome. There's so many people telling them what they need to do, what they should be looking at. They should be doing this on social media. They should be doing that on social media. And, what we never know what the right or the wrong things are to do. So we don't know what's helping and what's hindering us. So what we do then every day then is we don't know what we should be doing, every day to help us to create more clients and do the work that will bring in the profit to our businesses. So obviously the solution is to get really clear on, what we need to be doing. So we need to clear the decks, get really focused in on the business habits that we need to grow and develop as entrepreneurs, and ignore and stop worrying about what everybody else is saying to us, and start generating the revenue that we need to keep our businesses going. So this talk is for you if you're sick and tired of going around in circles, trying to make your business work and getting nowhere. This talk is for you if you don't know what to do every day in your business and you're just in a constant state of overwhelm. This talk's for you if you know you want to reach and work with more clients, but you just don't know how to do it. And you've loads of ideas and thoughts, but you can't bring them all together in a cohesive process. You feel out of control, out of your depth, and you are slowly but surely going out of your mind. And that's for all of us. So just a little bit about my story before we get stuck into the conversation. So I started my career actually as a scientist. I went all the way to PhD level in UCD in University College Dublin. I studied medical microbiology, and I went on then to do a postdoctorate in insulin sensitivity, which I know myself was a very bad move, because I realized by the time I finished my PhD that I was more interested in people than I was in the molecules. So after that kind of fell by the wayside. It didn't work out quite the way I wanted it to. The glittering scientific career was over, and short-lived as it was. And I did some work temporarily as a lab manager, which was great actually, because I still got to be involved in a bit of sciencey stuff, but I was more dealing with the people in the labs, and I really enjoyed that. But I was also studying at the same time as doing a PhD for reasons. I was also studying a HDIP in neuromuscular and physical therapy, and I was always really interested in anatomy and physiology. So when I finished up my glittering scientific career, I decided to become a neuromuscular and physical therapist, and I ran my own business for 4 years. But I didn't know an awful lot about business at this stage. So I also had to sort of do my second job as a pregnancy and baby massage therapist, on top of doing my own full-time career as a neuromuscular therapist, because I just didn't have the business acumen. I didn't know how to make the business work for me. So this went on for about 3 years, and then we hit the recession and everything went by the wayside. My own client base disappeared, and the people that I worked for, their client base, suffered as well. So everything basically, Ireland basically shut down around 2009, 2010. So, and with it went my business. So I was back to square one. I was back to going to the business job, or the office job, because I didn't know what else to do at the time. And around the same time, I came across life coaching, which I thought was this like super duper American thing. And then I realized, no, actually, there's loads of people here that are doing it as well. So I studied life coaching, and I really enjoyed that. And I knew it would be the basis for what I wanted to do. I still wasn't quite clear on what I wanted to do. So I studied career coaching, and while I enjoyed that, there still was that angst within me of helping people get traditional jobs, because I didn't want to be in a traditional job. And then I started looking at business coaching. I found business coaching. I was like, oh, what's this? So I started like reading up on it. I started doing webinars. I started listening to business coaches all around the world and getting lots of ideas and information. And I started working with business coaches because I realized that my coaching, my experience in life and career coaching would also be useful for me in a business coaching capacity. So I studied for about 3 or 4 years with a variety of different business coaches, and then I set up on my own as business coach and have been bringing my own flair and craziness to my own business since then. So I really wanted a way to tie in all my skills, and I started showing up at events and asking people, what was it about their businesses that they were struggling with? What were the challenges they were having in their business? And it was always the same kind of questions I got back. How do I make my business more profitable? And how do I do this without feeling overwhelmed, constantly trying to retain clients and attract new ones? So I started helping entrepreneurs getting really clear on the perfect money making and business plan that worked for their individual businesses. And like everyone else, I started out with one client and then another and then another. And now I help clients all over Ireland and the UK to build their businesses. And the plan for 2020 is world domination, but we have to take that a day at a time. So that's what I want to help you with with this talk around building better business habits, because it doesn't matter how talented you are at what you do or how skilled you are at what you do. If you're not making a profit in your business, all you have is an expensive hobby. I'm going to say that twice. If you are not making a profit in your business, all you have is an expensive hobby. And this is true for many businesses out there that are just literally treading water. And I want to help you with this in the talk with this as well, because once you develop these habits, everything changes. It changed for me. I use these habits to help my clients as well. And hopefully in this talk, you'll get some steps that will help you to create and fulfill those business goals too. So step number 1 is to identify your personal, professional, and lifestyle non-negotiables, otherwise known as the big rocks. So identifying these means that you are prioritizing what's important in both your life and in your business. And this is really important. So I'll give some examples of what each of them means. So a lifestyle non-negotiable are things that will improve your quality of life. So things like better sleep, a better diet, time management, being more organized. A personal non-negotiable will be things that bring joy and happiness to your life personally. So things like spending more time with family and friends, things like your hobbies, things like planning for the fabulous holiday that you want to go on to Disneyland with the kids, or off to your yoga retreat in Bali, or whatever it might be. And then your professional non-negotiables are the things that will bring more clients into your business, things that will help you streamline your business, ways to create boundaries between your professional and your personal time as well. And these are non-negotiables, or as I call them, big rocks. And one of the reasons I call them big rocks is it was based off a story that I heard relating to this, where a professor brought in this big jar into his class of students one day, and he had put 5 or 6 big rocks into this jar, and he said to the students, "Is this jar full?" And they said yes. And then he took out a small bucket of pebbles, of gravel, and he filled that in, and that all of course went around the big rocks and settled in. And then he said to them again, "Is it full now?" And they said yes. And then he took out a bucket full of sand, and he put the sand in, and he shook it around, and the sand seeped in between the big rocks and the small pebbles. And then he said to them, "Is it full now?" And they said yes. And he went, ta-da, he brought out some water. And of course he poured water into the bucket. And then he said to them again, "Is it full?" They were getting really wary at this stage. They were like, "Oh, I don't know." And they said yes. And he said, "Yes, it is full now." But the point he was trying to make was that if you don't put the big rocks in first and then put all the small stuff around it, the big rocks, the non-negotiables, the big rocks will never get done. So you have to, if you had put in all the small stuff first, like the sand and the pebbles and the water, you would have had no space for the big rocks. So these are your non-negotiables, and these are things that have to go into the diary first. So when you don't identify these non-negotiables, you've no way to identify them or define them. Everything else goes out the window because you're not putting yourself first. And a quote I love to tell my clients is that the lion eats first. And this is about putting yourself first in your business and in your life in general, because when there's a kill in a lion pride, the male lion is the one that eats first, because he needs to have enough energy to defend the rest of the tribe, the rest of his lionesses and the cubs that are there. So it's the same thing for you. Everything will go out the window if you don't identify your personal, professional, and lifestyle non-negotiables, because you won't have the energy for your business and your lifestyle as you want it. So you have to put yourself first. The lion eats first. The second problem that happens is then that you've no boundaries with your clients. You know, you're answering emails from them at like midnight. You've no boundaries with your friends or family, or those energy vampires, those acquaintances that like to waste your time with different things. And then you're constantly firefighting as a result of not having those non-negotiables defined, and you're being reactionary in your business. And of course, this means that you will be more stressed and anxious. Sorry. So the big problem then, the solution to this then is that, you know, if you're going to be stressed and anxious by, you know, the little things that are going to happen, then you're going to be even more stressed and anxious by the big things that are going to happen. So what you have to do then obviously is to sort out your non-negotiables and to know what the big rocks are in your business and your life. So that means you're scheduling the most important aspects of your life each week first into the diary, and you're scheduling those priorities in your lifestyle, your personal life, and your professional life. And with boundaries, that means you're not answering those client emails at midnight. You're much more focused on the important things in your business first, like your revenue generating activities, and you're not the late night emails that are being sent to you by those clients that you probably shouldn't be working with in the first place if they're contacting you at midnight. You're also much less reactionary around personal and business issues, because you've identified what's actually important in your life and business, which really helps you to lessen the anxiety and stress in your life, and helps you to develop better business habits and better lifestyle habits as a result. And I was like this when I started out. I hadn't identified the important things like the revenue generating activities, or the things that would make my business work better for me. And I really struggled. And it was only when I got really clear on my mission in my business, on my message, how I could help other female entrepreneurs, and how I could help myself to be as healthy and well as I could in my business, that I realized that I needed to focus on those boundaries and to ditch the drama, as I say to a lot of my clients, I know. Ditch the drama. So, you know, you need to really be diligent in putting yourself first when it comes to your life and your business, because again, the lion eats first. So your first action step tonight is to identify one lifestyle, one personal, and one professional non-negotiable big rock that would make a difference to your life and your business from today. So what one lifestyle, personal, and professional non-negotiable big rock would make a difference to your life and business from today. I'll give you a minute just to scribble down a few notes on that one. Okay, so moving on then to step number 2, which is to track your numbers. And this is really, really important. And this is something I talk to my clients about all the time, because as business owners, we don't focus on the numbers enough. And I'm not just talking about the finances, I'm talking about things like your reach outs. Who are you reaching out to in your business? Who are you connecting with in your business? How many clients do you need to stay solvent and viable? And also the big numbers, the dream numbers as well, the kind of numbers where you can say, if I have this amount in the bank, then I can buy the new car, I can buy the new house, I can go on that amazing holiday. So it's those kind of numbers as well. And the problem that happens then is that if you're not focused on those numbers, you don't have any focus on how your business works. You've no strategy relating to those numbers in your business and what they mean to you, because you have to attach a meaning to those numbers to give you the motivation to keep going. So if you know that you need to have 5 clients every month to go on that holiday, to have that new house, to buy the new car, you've made it emotional and you're more driven to do it. So really focusing, not focusing on the numbers means you've no strategy and you've no direction in where you're going. You also don't know how many clients you're going to need to have either a good month or an absolutely off the charts amazing month. So you don't know what the difference is. So you might think you're okay having three clients a month, and it turns out that actually if you had 4 or 5 clients a month, you would increase your profits by X fold or whatever. So you need to know what the difference is between having an okay month or a good month or an absolutely amazing off the charts month. And you should always be aiming for an off the charts month, because no matter what, if you've given it your all, you've learned more, and you're able to really bring more profit into your business. And then you focus on the stuff that doesn't really matter in your day-to-day business. If you're not focusing on the numbers, you're focusing on the fluff, you're focusing on the stuff that doesn't really matter, or you're sitting scrolling through social media. You're not doing the things that you need to be doing, like reaching out to generate leads or making sales calls or connecting with people. And you're not developing relationships online or offline either, face to face. So if you're not doing that, then you're not focusing on the real things that are going to make your business a better business, and to develop those habits where you're looking at the numbers all the time. So the solution obviously is, you look at the numbers, you've done the donkey work, you know what those numbers are now, you know what you're aiming for, and you know how to break it down into manageable chunks every single day. You're more productive and consistent in your business, and you know exactly what you need to be doing every day in your business to get the results that you need to keep your business thriving. And then you let go of the fluffy stuff, the scrolling, the wasting time, the checking out the competition, because your mindset is more focused and more positive because of the results you're getting from your numbers. And you start to actually fall in love with the numbers. And this is really important. You need to know what the numbers are. And I'll be honest, when I started out in business, I hated numbers because I was always like, I'm rubbish with numbers. I always had this idea that I was rubbish at maths. I hated maths in school. And I just had it in my head, the usual negative self-limiting belief that I couldn't do it, and I had to learn to love the numbers. And I do this with my clients all the time, and they usually squirm a little bit when we start talking about the numbers. But it's amazing, once you take control of the numbers, your confidence goes up. You're more confident talking about, what your goals are, what you're aiming for, because you've broken it down and you're staying productive and consistent as well. So fall in love with the numbers, guys. So your next action step: what numbers should you be focusing on in your business right now? And how many clients do you need per month to cover the personal and operational costs? So the personal costs will be your bills, and the operational costs will be the everyday costs of running your business. So, things like your subscriptions, things like your monthly subscription to your website, or to different courses you're doing, or the books that you're buying, or the equipment that you're buying. So I'll give you a moment to write down those numbers. Okay, so let's move on. So step number 3 is to learn how to say no. And this is a hard one because, us ladies like to say yes to everything that comes along. And we have to realize, we're people pleasers. We all are people pleasers, but we have to realize that saying yes to something or somebody else means that we're saying no to ourselves and to some aspect of our life and our business. And, saying yes to everything and means saying no to things that could be important in our business, that could be, really essential for our daily revenue generating activities. And in our need to please, we can overstretch ourselves to the detriment of our businesses. So, when we say yes to everything, we're creating a sense of overwhelm in our businesses, in our lives, and we end up trying to do too many things for too many people, and we get burned out. We get that sense of overwhelm again. And as a result of this, you're not focused on the everyday things that need to be done in your business. And, we let go of the important things, and we let the important things go on the long finger, and we think to ourselves, oh, sure, look, I'm going to help this person today, I'll do it tomorrow. And something else comes up and something else comes up. And we let the important revenue generating things slide, like following up with clients, tracking our numbers, building our audience, and we don't make the time for ourselves. So us saying yes to other people can also mean that the non-negotiables start to suffer, because that need to please can encroach on our health and our well-being. So that's why the non-negotiables are so important. That's why I put them first in the list, because once they are in there, you do not change them for love nor money. Obviously, an emergency in the family is different, but if it's something that is going to help you build your business or give you the energy to build your business, then you just say, sorry, I have something else on at that time, I can't help. So the solution is obviously to learn to stop saying no, or start saying no and stop saying yes to everybody else. And because you do that, when you do that, you create the space that you need for the things that need attention in your business, and you reduce that sense of overwhelm in your business, because you have more time to do the things that would bring more money and more clients to your business, instead of you running around helping others to build their businesses or to do work for others, and you're wasting your precious time. You start to focus on the everyday things that need to get done in your business, because you've created that time and space to make these things happen for you. So you're able to have the time then to focus on your non-negotiables first and foremost in your business, your life, and your health. And that means that you have the energy to stay focused on the things that matter in your business. Because guys, we all have these energy vampires in our lives these people who crop up. They're usually associates or, acquaintances that ask us for a favor that's only going to take an hour, but then it ends up taking like a whole day because something happens. And, it might be great to help out and do your bit for a charity or a friend or a family member, but it's also important to maintain boundaries so that people don't start to take advantage, because time is our only true commodity. And we can make more time, we can generate more business. Sorry, we can make more money and we can generate more business, but we cannot make more time. We are stuck with the same 168 hours a week as everybody else. So time really is so precious. So your action step is, what or who could you say no to today to create more time for the essential things in your business? What or who could you say no to today to create more time for the essential things in your business? And I'll give you a minute to have a think around that. And as I say, it's not that you're trying to shut everybody out. It's just that you are trying to prioritize your time and your energy to the things that are going to help you in your life and business today. And just in relation to that particular thing of saying no to people, I have a client who is very sought after at the moment for her speciality, and she's been asked by a variety of companies to be an ambassador for their clothing, for their businesses, and for their products. And she's also still working part-time while building her empire. But she was really in a state of overwhelm about this for a while and not knowing where to turn. So we really focused on the areas that would help her. We looked at the advantages and disadvantages of working with or not working with these companies, and who should she say no to and who should she work with. So she chose the areas more beneficial to her own brand, and she rejected the rest. So she's back. She's on track to leave her part-time job this year to be able to go full-time in her business, and she's booked out most of her retreats for 2020 in Thailand, Ireland, and the UK. She's developing her brand by developing better business habits and focusing on the areas that would bring more brand awareness to her and bring more clients and more revenue. So that's why I say to you, really focus on the things that will help you to move your business forward instead of being overwhelmed by being asked all of the things. So, content point number 4, be consistent and creative in your most productive time. So what I mean by this is, it is important, so important to identify the time of day when you have the most attention, when you're most attentive, because this time is the best time for your creativity and your productivity. And the problem that can happen when you don't know where this time is or what time of the day you are most productive in is that you run around all day knowing that you actually have to do something in your businesses, but you spend most of your most productive time of the day doing the wrong things. And you don't use your most productive and attentive times of the day to do the most important work in your business. For a lot of people, they're either early birds like myself, or they're night owls. My partner's a night owl, I'm an early bird. It doesn't really help. But I'm one of these people as well that gets a second wind at around 7 p.m. So I could work really well from about 6 in the morning till 12, get loads done, have a bit of a lull until around 7 o'clock at night, and then I could work again until about 11 o'clock. So you have to know where the most productive time of your day is. But even when you do know that sometimes you sit and you scroll through Facebook and Instagram news feeds, you see what the competition is up to. This is a drain on your most creative and productive time. It's procrastinating at its worst. And then, you wonder why you didn't get as much done in your day because you were working on the frivolous stuff, and you continue to procrastinate on the important creative stuff in your business and also on the revenue generating activities in your business. So you're not doing the things that can either be creative in your business or be revenue generating in your business, because you don't know your attention span. You don't know where you're most attentive in the day. So identifying this will, really help you to get the important stuff done. So really being consistent about this and saying consistently to yourself, okay, I'm an early bird. I know that I will work best between 9 and 12. So I'm going to do the most productive and creative stuff of the day in that time. So once you identify it, then your creative and attentive time, you can use it to create content, to connect with clients through video, podcasts, blogs. You can do your following up with clients. You can develop relationships. You can do all these things while you have the energy and the attention span. And when you know this, you'll be so much more focused and productive, and you'll consistently put out good content, great products and services to your prospective clients. Your mindset's going to be a lot more positive because you are connecting with more clients and you're creating more opportunities for yourself, which means there's more money going into the bank if you're getting more clients in, and you'll stop procrastinating and worrying about what the competition are up to. And then your productive and creative time will be used in a better way than just scrolling aimlessly through Facebook or daydreaming. You'll be doing the right things in your business that will create revenue, bring in more clients and more profit, and you will create the business that you want. Because you have to realize, if you're frittering time away on things that don't matter, it's just such a waste of time, because that productive time that you have is so precious and you will never get that time back. As I said, we can generate more revenue, we can generate more business, we can never generate more time. You can't make more time. It is so precious. That 168 hours of the week minus the 8 hours every day for sleep, it's such a precious time. And this is a problem a lot of my clients have when I start working with them. time management is really hard to tame. And, even identifying those times of day where they're most productive can be difficult to start with because they just haven't kind of thought of it before. They might have different times of the day where they perk up or they get a burst of energy, but they don't use it to the fullest of its, of the full effect. And again, you never get that time back. So the next step is, what one productive or creative task could you get done every day in your business to connect more with your clients? One productive or creative task that you can get done every day in your business to connect with more clients. And do you know what your productive time of your day is? Like when are you most attentive in your business? So I'll give you a minute to do that as well. And finally, step number 5. Have support and look after your mindset. This again, when we're starting out in business or growing our businesses, it is so important to have the right people in our corners. We have to have the right people in our corners because business is hard. Running a business is hard. Getting more successful in your business is hard. Moving across those bridges to different things in your business is hard. It's the hardest thing you're ever going to do, because I remember my a previous business coach of mine saying that running a business is like personal development on steroids. You are never going to learn as much about yourself as you will when you're building or growing a business, because at every level of your business, you come across more negative or self-limiting beliefs that you didn't realize you had. And at every level, you are being challenged by that monkey mindset in your brain. So especially early on in business, you're going to get more no's than yeses. And it kind of runs across the board. You will always get more no's in business than yeses. And not only do we need to have support from family and friends, we also have to identify the gaps in our businesses and who can help us to fill those. So, if we don't have that support and, we're not looking after our mindsets, then in the early days you think you can do it all yourself, but there are areas where you just don't have the expertise in. And there are things that when you start running a business you mightn't have even realized are important until you're sort of stuck in the trenches. And the biggest mistake for entrepreneurs, particularly women in business, is that they try to do everything themselves. They try to do it all themselves. And if you don't focus on the things you're good at in your business and you just end up deciding to do everything with no help or no support, that cycle of overwhelm and exhaustion continues. That deep, deep tiredness will develop that you get when you're constantly trying to do everything yourself, and you're emotionally exhausted, you're physically exhausted, and that doesn't create any space for creativity or productivity, because you just don't have the energy to do anything. And as a result of that, your mindset is going to suffer, because if you're doing all the things and no, you're not getting support from friends or family or relevant mentors, your mindset will start to suffer, and you will revert back to those self-limiting beliefs, those mind monkeys that are saying to you, who do you think you are? You're not good enough to run a business. And that was a really stupid idea in the first place. And who do you think you are? And like, you should just go back and get a proper job. And we've all had those. And the negative spiral just continues out of control once your mindset starts to get a bit of a battering. So obviously the solution is to start asking people for help, because when you have the right network of people when you're building a business, it can make a difference between having a surviving business and a thriving business. So you need to ask people for help to work on the aspects of your business that either you don't want to work on, or that maybe you just don't have the expertise on. And this will help you to free you up to do the work that really makes a difference in your business. So that's the revenue generating stuff, that's the creative stuff, that's the work you do with your clients that make more people want to work with you and helps you really hone your expertise, and that will help you build your business. And when you have that support, you can start being more creative, and you can start being more excited about your business ideas and the direction that you want to take your business in. And this in turn has a more positive effect on that very delicate mindset. And you have the help and guidance to move forward in your business with confidence, because your mindset's more positive and you have the confidence and capability to deal with any issues or setbacks that come along. Because there are going to be days, the reality is there are going to be days where you just need somebody to talk to. You might need some help or advice, or you might just want to have a rant about how things are going and get it all off your chest. But it is important to have people around you that can support you in that, and that can help you. And you do obviously the same for them, vice versa, when they're having a bad day. And mindset is so important. We need to look after our mindsets consistently, absolutely consistently, because it makes such a difference on how we handle the day-to-day running of our businesses. Because without a positive outlook and ways to maintain that positive outlook, we can fall back into those negative self-limiting beliefs again and create barriers to success for ourselves. Because the monkey in our brain is saying, you're not good enough, you're not good enough, you're not good enough. Unfortunately, it is just the human condition, that limbic part of our brains that's trying to keep us safe. But we can't be creating barriers for ourselves to success. So last action step is to identify the gaps in your business and to make a list of who can help you. So what areas of your business would you not be an expert on? And are there people out there that you know through your network that can help you? I'll give you a minute to write those down. Okay, moving on to wrap things up here. So we are going to do a little recap. So step one is to identify the non-negotiables. So these are the personal, professional, and lifestyle non-negotiables that are going to make the biggest difference to our health and our well-being and our professional well-being as well. And this is the first better business habit that I can think of, because it's really, really important. The second one then is to track the numbers. So knowing our numbers, not just the financial ones, but also the ones that are going to, to be something to work towards. The ones about like our car, our holiday, the emotional ones. Tracking those numbers means that we will be also more inclined to work harder for them, because we know that they are in sight. Learning to say no is really important as well, because when you learn to say no to other people, you're learning to say yes to yourself, to your lifestyle, and to your business, because we can't people please all of the time. Step number 4 is to be consistent and creative in your most productive time. So identifying the times of the day where you are most attentive and you have a proper attention span, and not the attention span of a goldfish, and using that time to be productive and creative instead of scrolling on Facebook. And then the final step is to have support and to look after your mindset. So having support when we start out is really important, because those people can help keep us sane when we're starting out in business, and they may also be able to help identify the gaps in our businesses and help us to bridge those gaps. And as a result of having that support, then we have a more positive outlook and mindset that will help us to move forward in our businesses and stop us going around the bend, basically. So to get a head start today, I have a free e-guide, 5 ways to make more time and money in your business. And this is an e-guide to help you to take steps to be more productive in your business. And there are things in there that will help you to attract and retain those clients. So if you want to just check out at the bottom of the Zoom window, there will be a link to a chat box, and you can highlight that and just go into the everyone section, click on it, and it'll say Lindsay Hanratty host in brackets, and you can send me that message privately then, and I will send you on the free e-guide. And then for those of you who want a little bit more, who are ready to take steps to becoming even more profitable, productive, and positive in your businesses, then I have a free 30-minute business breakthrough session, normally valued at $197. And again, if you want to pop your email into the Zoom chat box, I will send you my Calendly link and we will get on a call. This call is where we get on the phone and we talk about what's getting in the way of you being more profitable in your business today, what's getting in the way of knowing what you need to do every single day in your business to attract and retain those clients. And together we look at ways to make you more profitable and get you onto a more fulfilling path in your business. So pop your email into the Zoom chat and I'll send you my Calendly link and we will get on a call, because you don't have to be stuck about building your business forever, and you don't have to put your dreams on hold forever. You can actually start building your business and your business dreams today. And here are my details if you need to contact me at hello@lindsayhanley.com. I have Instagram and LinkedIn there, and also I have a Build Your Profitable Business Facebook group which you can also join, and I look forward to seeing you on any of those channels soon. And if you have any questions, I am more than happy to answer them. So thank you so much for attending, and I will talk to you guys really soon.